Welcome back to our Design Patterns in Java series. We've already covered singleton, factory method, abstract factory, all about controlling how objects are created. In episode 4, we're focusing on creating complex objects in a clean, readable, and flexible way. Today's pattern is the builder pattern. Perfect for when a constructor would require way too many parameters, especially when some of them are optional. So what actually is the builder pattern? The builder pattern separates the construction of a complex object from its representation. It allows you to create different representations of an object using the same construction process. Instead of passing 5+ arguments into a constructor, hello constructor hell, you use a builder to set values one by one, often with method chaining for readability. Some use cases are immutable objects with optional parameters, fluent APIs like the string builder or streams, step-by-step object creation, or code generation tools like Lombok's builder. And a real-world example could be building a user profile. Imagine you're building a user object. Some fields are required, others are optional. You want to make the construction readable and safe. So now I've already created this class and I need to be small again to go through the code. All right, let's go. So what you see here is the main function and the usage of the builder, but let's go over the user class. So we have a user class here, right? And we have created it and it has a lot of fields. We have first name, last name, age, email, phone, all of this. So what we have done is we've created a private constructor and it accepts a builder. And we have defined a public static class builder right here. So we have a builder class that belongs to our user class. So we have made the constructor private. It accepts a builder, which we have created here, a public static class builder, which belongs to our user class. That's what it accepts in its constructor. Now here we just input all of the fields, but not everything is required. What is required is first name and last name. That's what we require into our builder. So these are always present. Otherwise, you cannot construct a builder object. The rest of them are not required and they have methods to set them. So we can set the age, the email, the phone, and eventually we build our user. That's why it's called the builder pattern. We build it. So when you call the build method, it returns the new user with this as the reference. See what it does? It passes the builder into the user and bam, there you go. So that's what it does. And we have a toString method, but that's like not at all interesting. What we have achieved, if we look at this, right? We have achieved that we can specify what is required and make that constructor as small as possible. So we have only two variables, two fields, whatever you want to call it, into our constructor. First name and last name. And for everything that's optional, we can just use the method to set it. Now, if we go over our code, it's really simple and very readable. What we have done here is we have created a new user. We call user.builder and we pass in the two required arguments. Then we set the age to 30, we set an email, and we call build. Now we have created a user without a super long constructor where it's like, no, some value. Wait, some value. I got too excited there with typing. And then some other crap where it just creates a huge constructor and it's just unreadable. So what we've done here is we created it and you already know like, oh, age, oh, email, it's all underneath each other. So you can see it in one look at it. And then we go to build and then we build it and then we have a user. Now we have two different users. We have one which has an age and an email and we have one which just has a phone number next to the required arguments. Now, if we run this code and let's run it, we can see that here user is Alice Smith, age 30, email and phone. And there we have Bob Johnson, age 0, because we have not specified an age. So it gets to be 0, email null, and then a phone of that. So it only has a lot of benefits to use it, especially if your objects are quite long to instantiate. So the benefits, as I already said, is readable and fluent code, immutable result objects, optional parameters handled elegantly, and validation can be centralized in the build method. So in the build method here, you can check like, oh, does this all, you can check it in these methods as well, but you can just check if everything is correct, and then you can return it with your builder object so you have it validated. Alternative approaches are telescoping constructors. It's an anti-pattern. You have too many overloaded constructors, but you can use it whatever you want. I would not use it at all. You can use setters, mutable, and breaks immutability. I love immutability because it spares you a lot of bugs and a lot of headaches. You can also use the Lombok builder. It generates all the boilerplate for you if you want to use that. It does the same thing, just without all of the extra overhead. You just put some annotations wherever you need them, and then you're all set to go. Now, when should you not use this? For simple objects with only 1 or 2 parameters, maybe 4 might be the max. And after that, like if it's going to grow, you want to use this. If object construction is trivial and it's unlikely to grow, so simple objects, like I said before, don't use this. Some best practices: make your product class immutable if possible. Well, product, just your class in general, make it immutable if possible. Keep validation in the build method to ensure consistency, combined with other patterns like prototype or director when needed. And method chaining improves readability, but don't overuse it because it can destroy the readability. All right, a small recap of what we did. In this episode, we used the builder pattern to construct complex user objects with a mix of required and optional parameters. The pattern helped keep the code clean, flexible, and easy to read. And in the next episode, we'll explore the prototype pattern, which lets you clone objects instead of building them from scratch, especially useful when object creation is expensive. Well, make sure to like, subscribe, and share this. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode, and happy programming.